This is the Truth Network.
It's Storytime, Memaw, an answered prayer for stories that point children to God. And here's today's story with Joanne Vickner.
Sue's family robbed God. Nanny was thrilled her son Bobby, his wife Sue, and little Zadie were coming for a visit. She hadn't seen them in 2 years. Zadie had gotten big. She was already 6 years old. That Thursday, they packed a lunch and strolled through the zoo from mid-morning to evening. Zadie loved hearing the elephants roar and watching the monkeys play. The monkeys were her favorite. The next day, Nanny treated everyone to a fancy dinner at her favorite restaurant, and Saturday was spent at the park for a family reunion. Sue got to meet 6-month-old Max and chat with aunts and uncles as Zadie played with her cousins. But sitting with her family in the Lord's house was what Nanny cherished the most. After singing and opening in prayer, the offering was taken. Dad received the plate first and passed it to Zadie, who passed it to Nanny. Nanny happily placed her tithe in it and handed it to Sue, who quickly passed it to the next person down the aisle. That's when Nanny whispered in Sue's ear, "I always give to God what is His first, and I've never looked back." What's a tithe? A tithe is when we return a small portion of our money back to God, for Him to do as He pleases. Most agree it's 1/10 of what we earn. When you earn $1, ultimately, it's God who gives you that dollar, and He asks for you to give Him back 10 cents. If you receive $5, 50 cents would go in the offering plate. My grandkids told me, "Memaw, God is God. He doesn't need money. Why does God want our money?" Well, they were right. God does not need our money. He wants us to obey Him and honor Him with our possessions. Tithes support the spreading of the gospel, telling others about Jesus. It pays the pastor's salary, the electric bills, and covers the repair for broken refrigerators and more. Well, for years, Sue and her husband heard many sermons on tithing, but they had never given the church 1 penny. "I always give to God what is His first," kept playing over and over in her mind. After flying home and unpacking, she grabbed their huge stack of bills and sat at the table, thinking, "I can't tithe. I have no money." Her husband was an engineer and she was a nurse. They made big money, and they spent it buying a house, 2 cars, a 4-wheeler, a boat, a helicopter, and a 6-seater airplane. For a long time, she sat there staring at those bills. Finally, she said, "Lord, You promised to bless me when I tithe back to You. You tell me to test You in this. So I'm writing a $50 check to the church and trusting You will see to it I have money to live on." Well, 2 weeks later on payday, Sue had $100 in her bank before making a deposit. That's incredible. The most she had ever had in the bank on payday was $15, but today she had $100. She wrote a $100 check to the church the next month, and again, she did not run out of money. The following month, she gave $200 to the church, and the month after that, $300. Sue was now giving God 1/10 of their income, and she never ran out of money. That's impossible. They weren't making extra money, and their bills had never changed, yet she was tithing and had money left over. God did it. He is true to His word. Sue will never rob God again by not tithing. Almighty God rewards us all, you and me, for being faithful and obedient to Him. His word in Malachi 3:8, "Will a man rob God? Yet you are robbing me." But you say, "How have we robbed You?" In tithes. and offerings.
If you enjoy Joanne's stories, her book is available on Amazon. And her website at itsstorytimememaw.com. That's itsstorytimememaw.com. Go ahead and order it today, and thanks for listening.